Chinese food, the dishes and their history. First we have spicy tofu. Spicy tofu has main ingredients of tofu and beef. This is one of the more famous dishes in China, and it originated in the Sichuan province. Now, as the name suggests, it is very, very spicy. This is common amongst the cuisine in the Sichuan province. The spicy food is said to have tongue-numbing traits. Spicy food is very common in Sichuan province because it is very hot and spicy food helps them to sweat and cool off. This dish can be found throughout all of China, as well as in Japan and Korea. Next we have egg fried rice. This is part of daily cuisine in China. You can see it everywhere. This dish is eaten by people of all social statuses, from highest to class citizens to the poorest farmers and factory workers. It's very popular in China because it is a creative way to recycle used rice. Also, rice is common in China because the climate in China has made rice a very common crop. Next, we have sweet and sour pork chicken. So let's start with the sauce. This original sweet and sour sauce is believed to have originated in the Hunan province of China. The sauce doesn't resemble the sweet and sour sauce that we know today. Traditionally, in China, the sauce is made by mixing something sweet, like honey, with something sour, like vinegar, and spices like garlic and cloves to make it tasty. Though the westernized version is of Cantonese descent and is made from white rice vinegar, salt, Chinese brown candy, ketchup, Worcestershire sauce, and dark soy sauce. That's very different from the traditional Chinese one. Alright, next we have chow mein. Chow mein is a stir-fried noodle dish made with Chinese egg noodles and various meats and vegetables. This is a very, very popular food in China due to the fact that it is nutritious and easy to make. It's actually said to help with your digestive system. It could be made with either fresh, soft noodles or dry, crispy noodles. Now, traditionally, chow mein is crispy, while lo mein is soft. That's how you know the difference. Most Chinese restaurants deep fry the noodles to give them that crispy texture and golden color. Alright, now we have the Peking duck. Peking duck is a famous Chinese dish and a must-have for tourists. The Chinese word for Peking duck, Beijing Kaoya, translates to Beijing roasted duck. The Chinese first roasted duck during the Southern and Northern dynasties, and a variation was prepared for the emperor of the Yuan dynasty. The modern version was not made until the Ming dynasty, though. Alright, so the Peking duck, you must be wondering how this is prepared. So it's prepared by a very specific procedure, and a chef must go through a lot of training before they're able to do so. All of the organs and inedible parts of the duck must be removed through a 2-centimeter hole in the neck in order to preserve the shape and integrity of the duck. Afterwards, air is pumped into the duck to separate the skin from the fat. The duck is then glazed, rinsed on the inside with water, and hung for 24 hours before being roasted. Tedious. So, next we have wonton soup. Wonton is a very famous Chinese dish. It's made of a dough wrapper stuffed with pork, shrimp, vegetables, shallots, and ginger that is usually boiled and served in soup, but can occasionally be deep fried if you want to be unhealthy. The soup is usually a chicken-based soup with shallots and pieces of chicken. In ancient times, doctors would actually give their patients wontons with medicine in them to cure frostbite. Interesting. So, you're wondering, wontons versus dumplings. They're very similar, but they have a few key differences. Wonton wrappers are either square or an isosceles trapezoid, while dumpling wrappers are usually a round and slightly larger shape. Wontons have a thinner wrapper than dumplings, And wontons are traditionally served in soup, while dumplings are served with sauces and other condiments. Alright, lastly, we go to Chinese dinner etiquette. This is a very crucial part to eating at the Chinese dinner table. So, first upon arrival, you have to introduce yourself and announce yourself. And, also, seating is very important in Chinese dinner etiquette. So, firstly, the guest of honor sits down, and the next guest sits to his right, the following to his left, and so on in this order. The guest of honor makes the first toast and begins eating first. This is all very specific. Now, when eating, you have to pick up the bowl and keep your head up as you eat. And any other behavior is considered poor manners and very rude. Alright, well, that's our presentation for Chinese dinner, Chinese food, dishes, and their history.